Yo, yo, yo. Hopefully this video doesn't get taken down. If so, we'll probably do another one, but probably not. This probably be the last video we do today. This is WWE wrestlers selfies that shouldn't have been leaked. Uh,
Over the
hopefully
past several
they don't
years,
show it. They
numerous
just talk about it.
WWE wrestlers, both male and female, have found themselves victims of cyber attacks resulting in the leak of private photos and videos. These incidents have caused significant distress, both personally and professionally, for those involved. However, there have also been times where wrestlers just took what they thought were innocent selfies and posted them online, only to later regret their decision. Today, we will be covering all of the selfies that shouldn't have been leaked. Now, you might think that female WWE
Austin Theory
superstars are the only ones whose private photos have been leaked
Well, was
online,
it
but this
just
is
Seth
not the
Rollins?
case. In February of 2015, private photos of Seth Rollins were leaked online, leading to a scandal. The situation began when Rollins' social media accounts were compromised, leading to the unauthorized posting of a nude
Was there any
photo
Orton?
of then
Or was that
NXT
just
wrestler
for
Zara
the
Schreiber
WWE?
on his official Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram accounts.
wondering who
The
said
incident
that.
escalated when Rollins' fiancée at the time, Legla Schultz, retaliated by sharing nude photos of Rollins on her own social media accounts. Rollins quickly responded to the leak, issuing a public apology on Twitter. He expressed regret for the incident, saying, "I would like to apologize to all the WWE fans and my family and friends for private photographs that were distributed without my consent." Despite the controversy, it was reported that WWE did not place significant blame on Rollins, as it was believed that his accounts had been genuinely hacked. However, the incident was still a major concern for WWE, leading to internal discussions about potential disciplinary action. Some reports suggested that Rollins might have been fined for the leak, not because he was at fault for the hack, but because of the belief that the initial posting of the photo may have been a mistake on his part. The leak received widespread attention, including coverage from mainstream media outlets, which further complicated matters for Rollins and WWE. The situation also led to WWE organizing a social media etiquette meeting, emphasizing the importance of safeguarding personal content on digital platforms. This scandal was a personal and professional challenge for Rollins, impacting both his career and personal life during that period. Remember when we mentioned Zara Schreiber earlier? If you don't know who she is, Zara Schreiber was a former WWE NXT talent who was fired in August of 2015, a few months after her nude photos were leaked online in February, alongside Seth Rollins. She was not fired because of that, however. She was fired after several controversial images she had posted on Instagram in 2012 resurfaced. The images included anti-Semitic Nazi-themed content, such as a My Little Pony character adorned with a Hitler mustache and a swastika armband. When these posts came to light, WWE immediately took action, releasing Schreiber from her contract and citing her inappropriate and offensive remarks as the reason for her dismissal. When initially confronted about the swastika image on Instagram, Schreiber defended her post by stating, "I like history, and I can post whatever photos I want." These comments, combined with the nature of the images, led to significant backlash both online and within WWE. In the aftermath of her firing, Schreiber issued a public statement where she expressed her heartbreak over losing her dream job. She attempted to clarify her intentions behind the posts, claiming that they were not meant to endorse Nazi ideology, but were more about her interest in history, particularly World War II. She also mentioned her family's involvement in the White Rose movement, a German resistance group against Nazi rule, as part of her interest in the subject. Schreiber apologized to those offended by her posts, acknowledging that they were in poor taste and insensitive. Despite this, the damage was done, and her career with WWE was effectively over. If you think the Seth Rollins and Zara Schreiber leaks caused controversy online, you are probably not familiar with the 2017 scandal and all its victims. This wave of leaks was often referred to as the Celebgate or the Fappening scandal. It was a large hacking scandal that affected various public figures, celebrities, athletes, and several female wrestlers who fell victim to cyber attacks aimed at exposing their intimate images. Celeste Bonin, who is known to WWE fans as Caitlyn, was one of them. She faced a ton of personal turmoil in 2017 when private photos and videos of her were leaked online. The leaked content included over 24 explicit photos and a couple of videos. One video reportedly showed Caitlyn in a suggestive outfit, addressing an unnamed person in a personal message. The content was explicit, with a continuation video involving nudity. The release of these materials violated Caitlyn's privacy and brought unwanted public scrutiny on her. At the time of the leaks, Caitlyn did not publicly comment on the incident, which could be seen as an attempt to maintain her dignity and avoid further media attention. This breach was not the first time Caitlyn had been targeted, making the situation even more distressing. Despite the lack of a direct statement from her, the incident likely had a profound effect on her, as it did with many of the women involved in the leak. Another WWE female superstar involved in the 2017 leaks was Maria Kanellis. The former WWE superstar has been a repeated target of privacy violations involving the leak of her private photos online. Kanellis was targeted multiple times, with hackers leaking her photos on various adult websites during different periods throughout that year. In response to these leaks, Maria took to social media to express her thoughts and provide her perspective on the matter. On her Facebook page, she addressed the situation in a heartfelt post, discussing the issues surrounding privacy, body positivity, and the intrusion that such leaks represent. Maria clarified that the photos were private images meant for her husband, Mike Bennett, and emphasized that there was nothing salacious or forbidden about them. She expressed disappointment not in the fact that her body was exposed, but in the invasion of privacy and the sad state of those who engage in such activities. Maria also used the opportunity to share her views on the broader topic of sexuality and body image. She spoke about the importance of being comfortable with one's body and the need to reject the shame often associated with nudity. She explained that she never felt ashamed of her body and that she would teach her children to be confident and unafraid of their physicality. Maria argued that the real issue wasn't the photos themselves, but rather the act of violating someone's privacy. Kanellis concluded her message by criticizing societal attitudes towards sex and nudity, contrasting them with the pervasive acceptance of violence in media. She urged people to focus on more significant issues like war, discrimination, and inequality, rather than getting fixated on matters of sexuality. However, none of these situations were as controversial as the next one. Paige, whose real name is Soraya Jade Beavis, faced a deeply challenging period in her life when her private photos and videos were leaked online in March 2017. This incident was part of the larger wave of leaks affecting several celebrities, but the impact on Paige was particularly severe given her young age and the pressures of being in the public.
You've been accused of plagiarizing your master's thesis. If you tell the truth, you can have
public eye. At the time, Paige was only 19 years old and struggling with substance abuse issues. She described the moment she found out about the leak as the most awful moment of her life. These leaks included intimate moments involving Paige, former WWE wrestler Brad Maddox, and current WWE superstar Xavier Woods. The incident had a profound impact on all involved, leading to public scrutiny and personal struggles. Paige recounted that upon discovering the leak, she was in such shock and disbelief that she ran out of her house and hid in a bush, fearing that people would recognize her and know what had happened. She felt deeply mortified and ashamed, and the situation pushed her to a point where she didn't really want to be alive anymore. In a heartfelt public statement, she expressed her regret for trusting someone who ultimately took advantage of her, leading to the unauthorized release of her private content. She admitted that the ordeal led to thoughts of self-harm due to the overwhelming shame and the impact on her family. Her father, Ricky Knight, expressed his deep concern for her mental health, publicly urging people to back off as he feared for her well-being. Her mother, Soraya Knight, also voiced her support, condemning those who exploited her daughter's private moments and noting the emotional devastation it caused within their family. Paige's mental state during this period was fragile, and she admitted that she felt so sad and was terrified that her father would be disappointed in her. However, a pivotal moment came when she spoke to her father, who reassured her that while the situation was painful, he was not disappointed in her and remained proud of her. This support from her family played a crucial role in helping Paige begin to recover from the ordeal. Years later, Paige reflected on the incident with a mixture of regret and resilience. She expressed that the experience was a harsh lesson, one that she hoped would serve as a cautionary tale for others. Despite the overwhelming shame and public humiliation she endured, Paige managed to rebuild her life and career, eventually finding peace and moving forward from the traumatic experience. Xavier Woods, who was also in the leaked videos, faced backlash due to the leak as well. The timing of the incident coincided with his rising career as part of the New Day. The group briefly referenced the situation during a WWE event, with Woods subtly addressing it in a way that seemed to diffuse the tension within the wrestling community. However, this brief acknowledgement did not fully address the seriousness of the situation, especially considering the toll it took on Paige. Brad Maddox was involved in recording many of the leaked videos. Although his name was less frequently mentioned in the immediate fallout compared to Paige and Woods, his involvement was central to the scandal. Maddox left WWE in 2015, and since the leak, he has largely stayed out of the public eye, not making any significant public statements about the incident. Paige spoke openly about the traumatic impact the leaks had on her life. In interviews, she revealed that the invasion of her privacy led to severe emotional distress, including depression and suicidal thoughts. She recounted experiences where strangers publicly humiliated her by referencing the videos, which only deepened her trauma. Paige described the leak as a mistake from her youth, emphasizing that it was something she would have never wanted to be made public. She used her experience to caution others about the risks of recording intimate moments. Despite the initial media storm, WWE did not take punitive action against those involved, recognizing that they were victims of a crime rather than perpetrators. The 2017 leak was not done yet, however. After Paige's intimate photos and videos were leaked in March, WWE superstar Charlotte Flair also became the victim of a privacy breach when her private photos were leaked online 2 months later, in May. These explicit images were stolen and distributed without her consent, causing considerable distress. Charlotte, whose real name is Ashley, immediately took to social media to address the situation. In a tweet, she expressed her outrage and demanded the immediate removal of the stolen images, stating, "Private photos of mine were stolen and shared publicly without my consent. These images must be removed from the internet immediately." Although Charlotte did not provide extensive public commentary beyond her initial response, the incident highlighted the vulnerabilities celebrities face in the digital age, particularly concerning the security of their private information. The situation also sparked discussions about the need for stronger laws and protections against such invasions of privacy. This leak of private photos was a challenging moment for Charlotte, adding to the pressures she already faced as one of WWE's top female performers. Despite the adversity, she continued her career without letting the incident define her, remaining a prominent figure in the wrestling industry. Melina Perez, another former WWE superstar,
Thursday night football on time. It's on.
Ready to have some fun?
This week, it's Buffalo versus Miami as Thursday night football is back. Stream Thursday night football only on Prime.
Did she only return once?
also had a deeply personal and painful experience when her private photos were leaked online. She described the event as horrific and comparable to a traumatic violation, drawing a parallel to an earlier experience of sexual assault in her life. In interviews, Melina has spoken about how these photos were meant to be an intimate exchange between herself and someone she loved, and she expressed profound hurt and anger towards the individual who violated her privacy by leaking them. Melina also touched on the broader issue of how women are often dehumanized in such situations, stating that women are frequently objectified and seen as things rather than human beings with feelings and dignity. She mentioned the emotional turmoil she endured as she struggled to cope with the fact that her naked body had been exposed to the public against her will. This was especially difficult for Melina, who had deliberately chosen to maintain a degree of privacy, even turning down offers to pose for Playboy in order to keep her body only for her partner. Despite the trauma, Melina has worked hard to come to terms with what happened. She emphasized that the wrongdoing was entirely on the part of the person who stole and distributed the photos, not on her. Over time, she has been able to process the experience and move forward, but she remains vocal about the severe impact such violations can have, especially on women. In May 2017, Lisa Marie Varon, better known to WWE fans as Victoria and to TNA fans as Tara, became one of the numerous victims of the 2017 leak scandal. The leaks involved a substantial number of explicit photos, around 91 in total, featuring Victoria in various states of undress. Some of these images reportedly showed intimate moments, including sexual acts. It remains unclear whether these photos were obtained through hacking her iCloud account or stolen from someone else who had received them. Victoria did not immediately comment on the incident, maintaining a public silence regarding the leak, which left fans and media outlets speculating about her response and how the images had been compromised. In November of 2020, Toni Storm, another former WWE superstar, experienced a breach of privacy when private photos of hers were leaked online on various social media platforms, including Twitter and Reddit. These images, which Storm had intended to keep private, were disseminated widely, sparking discussion and concern within the wrestling community. The leaked photos quickly spread across the internet, and the rapid dissemination made it challenging to control the situation. Fans and the media reacted strongly, with many expressing support for Storm and condemning the breach of her privacy. In the aftermath of the leak, Storm deleted her Twitter and Instagram accounts and has been completely absent from social media. In the wake of the leak, Toni received support from her peers and fans. Fans of the wrestler and other members of the WWE community went online to show Storm support, creating the hashtag #WeSupportToni. One of the people who showed support was Paige, who, as we covered earlier, also experienced a similar leak back in 2017. On Twitter, Paige said, "We support Toni Storm," from someone that has experienced the same thing. "I strongly support you, girl. It's gonna be hard and people are gonna be mean because they don't understand. But you're a strong, talented woman. You'll get through this. Your future is too bright to be dimmed." There was even a Twitter account called We Support Toni, which had over 1,000 followers and shared a supportive message to its page. Mauro Ranallo, a former NXT announcer, also commented on the situation at the time, saying, "Toni Storm is an amazing performer and, more importantly, a good person. I am sickened by what she has had to endure. The harassment and invasion of privacy in our society needs to stop." Toni Storm, who was still in NXT at the time, later addressed the situation publicly during an appearance on Lillian Garcia's podcast, Chasing Glory. Toni talked about the fallout from private photos of her that were leaked online. "I just shut down when I noticed the stuff that had leaked because I was already in a bad place mentally. I always struggled with depression and anxiety. I've never really spoken out about it. I don't know why. There's not really any reason for it. I'm not sure why I suffer from it, but a lot happened growing up where I lost my grandfather and there was a lot of drama with my family. At 16, I was diagnosed with anxiety. When all that came about, I was already struggling. I was like, I don't want to know about any of this. I didn't want to face it. So one day I was like, to hell with this. I really didn't want to be seen because I was completely humiliated and ashamed. It was awful, and I didn't even know who to turn to. Now, I'm at a place where I can laugh with friends about it, but it was awful during that time. People try to humiliate me with it and make horrible comments. They will give me hell. I turned my comments off of Instagram. I obviously love
The beach has always been there for us. So it's time we were there for it. That's why Corona's helping clean 100 beaches by 2025. It's the first step in our fight against plastic pollution.
of the support from fans. I appreciate it so much, but with that, I get a lot of abuse since that stuff started happening. I was getting a lot of disgusting comments. I don't want my sister going on there and seeing all of those horrible things. Onto lighter leaked images. In 2015, the real-life engagement of WWE superstars Lana, whose real name is CJ Perry, and Rusev, also known as Miro, became a significant controversy within WWE, leading to repercussions that affected their careers and storylines. The engagement was leaked online after Lana shared a private photo with friends, which eventually made its way to TMZ. This leak happened at a time when Lana was involved in a high-profile storyline with Dolph Ziggler, while Rusev was paired with Summer Rae on television. WWE officials were not pleased with the engagement becoming public, as it disrupted the ongoing storyline. Lana explained that she was blamed for the leak and held accountable by WWE management, particularly Vince McMahon. According to Lana, Vince was so upset that he removed her from television for 3 months as a form of punishment. She described this period as extremely challenging, mentioning that she was made to feel that everything was her fault, which left her questioning.
I don't really care to hear about that one. It's crazy, bro. I think she has our own. So Randy Orton was one of them that was planned to. Aaliyah Aribi? I didn't know about her. She was like there for like a minute or two. Alright, we'll hear about it.
Another former WWE wrestler, Aaliyah, whose real name is Nhoof Al-Aribi, also found herself in hot water after a controversial Instagram photo she posted in 2014 resurfaced in 2015. In the photo, Aaliyah was seen sitting on the shoulders of a fellow wrestler who was an African-American male with the caption, "My slave. Someone buy me a whip, please." The post quickly sparked outrage and backlash due to its racially insensitive nature. The term slave in this context was widely criticized as offensive and inappropriate, particularly given the historical connotations of slavery in the United States and its deep-rooted impact on African Americans. Fans and critics took to social media to express their disappointment and anger over the caption, pointing out the insensitivity and lack of awareness it displayed. Aaliyah eventually deleted the post, but not before it had been widely circulated and commented on. While there was never a detailed public statement from Aaliyah addressing the incident, the backlash was significant enough that she removed the image from her Instagram account. Which of all these situations did you
Yeah, that's crazy, like, you gotta scroll a while. On TikTok, I got almost 1,000 videos. I gotta scroll just to find one video for like 5-10 minutes. And that's just like from a few months ago. Imagine a few years ago. But hey, you gotta find that video. Tweet, post,